This is Grow Omaha Uncut, where you can watch our radio show, including what goes on in the commercial breaks. And be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons.
Well, good morning and welcome to the show. Jeff Beals here at your service. Glad you've joined us. This is the only show in the metro area that talks about business expansion, real estate construction, economic development, anything related to Omaha becoming more prosperous, more vibrant, and perhaps a little bit bigger. We're brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center, along with D&M Roofing and Siding. I'd like to bring on my co-host now, a man who is legendary in his real estate deal-making prowess and resume, Trenton Magid.
Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, everyone.
Well, it's good to see you. We have a full house here today.
Yeah, we do.
In fact, the guy sitting right next to you is our good friend Craig Wolf. He is the head of Cheer Athletics and other businesses and becoming a frequent contributor here to Grow Omaha. Good morning, Craig.
Good morning, guys. Once again, great to be back on the show with my fellow Westside High classmates.
Yeah,
87.
Westside High School class 87. We're just that young, and we were excited because our alma mater won a big football game last night.
They did.
You go, Craig?
I did not go. Westside looks pretty good, don't they? They'll play Elkhorn South November 21st for the state championship, and Westside is pretty formidable.
My son was there. Of course, he was cheering for his school, Millard West. So I had some torn loyalties.
Shut out by 41 points.
Boy, it's insane how good they are. It's you don't see a high school football team that's quite that dominant very often.
We love it.
Yeah. Well, at any rate, guys, it's kind of appropriate that we have Craig Wolf here from Cheer Athletics because Cheer Athletics is the sponsor of our Grow Omaha Eats restaurant review series. We have one of those every other week, written by Sarah Baker Hansen, the top food critic in the state of Nebraska. And this week, Sarah reviews Camp, K-A-M-P. That is the food court inside a building in the Blackstone district. Really, it's a building just right north of the old Blackstone Hotel, which is now the Kempton Cottonwood Hotel. And inside Camp are a few different concepts: nice rolls, angel wings, single double, and Los Rallies or Los, I don't know if it's Los Royes or Los Rallies.
Where's Amy when we need her?
Someplace called Los Rallies. And anyway, so the review goes through some of the things you can try at camp. There's also a very nice bar in the middle of it. It's kind of like a food court or for grown-ups, if you will. In fact, the headline is, "The Blackstone District's Camp Makes Grown-Ups Feel Like Kids Again." And if you want to see this review, which we urge you to read it, you can go to growomaha.com, click on Eats, E-A-T-S, on the navigation bar. You can see that review and all of the others that Sarah has written over the past couple of years.
Jeff, I went to a seminar yesterday morning for about 3 hours, Midwest Real Estate News, which covers about 14 states in the Midwest. They came in and they did a Omaha overview, kind of a summit in La Vista Conference Center, and John Blumenthal, our friend, who was the moderator on a apartment
from Barrett Home Law Firm.
Yeah, for apartment panel, and he started off by reading from the Grow Omaha Weekly Market Report, your feature article about Omaha having the highest uptick in apartment rents, 4.1%, and so we got a shout out. I was there, so he gave me a shout out. I said, "It's all Jeff."
I'm sure you said that. Kind of like when WWT interviewed you and you said you're the organizer of the Grow Omaha
They
newsletter.
said I was the organizer. You're the workhorse.
I think I also organize it.
You can be the creative director.
I think I might be the organizer.
I've outed myself
too.
many times, and then I said, ladies and gentlemen, I worked Jeff's butt off.
Yeah, and Jeff appreciates that. So Craig Wolf is with us. He, along with his wife Tiffany, own Cheer Athletics. Craig, tell us a little bit about Cheer Athletics.
Well, I've been on the show before. I appreciate the opportunity every time to talk about our All-Star Cheer Gym off of Highway 50 and 370. Tomorrow's going to be a special day. We have our what we call Blue Debut, and the Cheer Athletic colors are royal blue. And so it's our showcase to allow our athletes, 12 teams performing, allow our athletes to bring in friends, family, to show what they've been working on for the last 6 months. It's a big moment for them because the following week we head to Denver for the Rocky Mountain National Championships. Next week, it'll be exciting for them, and it's always about the athletes at Cheer Athletics. It's about pouring into them on life lessons and learning new tumbling. We offer private classes, full classes, and, of course, all-star cheer teams. So if you ever have an interest, it's open to the public tomorrow. Come on out and see us. We're going to have lots of food, lots of fun, and I'll be the MC. Hopefully I don't screw that up for our athletes, and we'll have a great day.
So you're just coming here to practice?
That's right.
Practice MC work?
What time tomorrow?
Tomorrow it is 1 to 3 will be the showcase, and we have 12 teams at Cheer Athletics that will be showcasing, and then we've added 2 to our armory. It's the Millard United teams will be joining us as well tomorrow. So come on out.
And those are cheer teams too?
That's correct. Yeah.
Very cool. Well, guys, let's go into our news of the week, which is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage. Eagle Mortgage knows mortgages. They've been doing it for more than 30 years, helping home buyers get just the right loan to make sure things are in good shape for them before they go into the whole new house thing. In fact, if you're thinking about starting the search, and now we're here in the holiday season, a lot of people are thinking, all right, after we get past the first of the year, we're going to do it. We're going to start looking for a house. Talk to Eagle Mortgage now. You don't have to wait until January or February. You can go ahead and take care of this part now. You want to get a pre-approval letter. So when you are looking for houses, perhaps it's a competitive situation, a lot of people interested in the house, having that pre-approval letter from Eagle Mortgage certainly is in your favor. Certainly helps you out if you find yourself get yourself into a competitive situation trying to buy a house. Either way, talk to them. Holly Schneiderwind and her team are located at 114th and Davenport, or you can find them at eaglemortgagecompany.com. A couple quick news items that I want to get out of the way first before we get into our big topic. And the first one is the City Council this week approved tax increment financing for Curtis Corner, a 9-house development at 49th and Curtis Avenue. Houses will be sold to income-qualified buyers whose household income is 60 to 120% of the Omaha area median. I think you're going to probably see some more of that type of thing, Trenton, because housing prices have spiked in our community quite a bit in the last year.
So those are ground up houses, right? And
ground up. And so in the grand scheme of things, not a huge project, 9 houses, but I think it's significant in that I think you're going to see more of a move towards some of those affordable projects because houses have become so expensive relatively in the Omaha area over the last 2 years.
I'm a big fan of the Dotzler family, Josh Dotzler, who's been on this show, and the Abide Foundation in North Omaha, and they've done a lot to put in new houses, rehab old houses, and really clean up whole neighborhoods and make it a community. And when you know your neighbors and you function well with your neighbors, everyone wins.
Lockbox Storage has completed a 95,000 square foot self-storage facility at 192nd and Blondo. They have both climate and non-climate drive-up units, fully fenced, full-time employees on site. So that's a nice addition to that area. And then McGregor Interests, a related company, also completed construction right on that same spot or that same area on a 30,000 square foot multi-tenant building. D1 Sports Training and CHIPS Performance Baseball Training are now open and operating. Trek Engineering should open in that building in about 30 days.
I drove by there. It's quite a facility. They do a good job.
All right, Trenton and Craig, the big story we have this week, and it was the big story in the Grow Omaha newsletter, is the streetcar. And we've got some new details, if you will. Mayor Stothert released many pages of renderings and designs, and a couple of the changes or things that stood out. Number one, the design process is now more than 30% complete. There will be 16 stations along the planned streetcar route. The 3 streetcar stations that will be along Farnham and the Blackstone district are going to actually be in the median of the road instead of the side to make it a little bit more efficient. In fact, any time now there are going to be future boarding zone signs that are going to be popping up where the stations will be located with QR codes on them so people can learn more about the future stops. The western terminus, instead of 42nd and Farnham Street, is going to be at 39th and Farnham. They want to end it there because the Med Center is exploring what they want to do with a streetcar extension. And in a separate announcement, the Med Center this week said that they are very serious about extending the streetcar into their campus. It's just that their campus is going through so much change right now that they don't want anything to go through the campus prematurely. It was also announced that the city is applying for a $300,000 federal grant, which will help study an extension into North Omaha. Right now, the northeastern terminus would be at 10th and Capitol. That's where the Marriott Hotel is located just before you get to the CHI Center. Originally, it was going to go up to Cass on the north side of the Hilton, and so they're going to stop it at Capitol for now, but they're exploring possibilities for extensions. Another interesting thing that jumped out about it is that both the Farnham and Harney, those two streets together, I call them Farney. So the Farney bridges are over Interstate 80 are going to be replaced as part of this project. So big movement. Everything's full speed ahead, but a lot still has to happen before it opens in 2026.
So I have to ask you guys.
Craig, you're not on. There you go. Now you're on.
I have to ask you guys, this has been the streetcar has been talked about for many years.
25 years probably.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah,
Time flies when you're
Hal
having
Dobb.
fun. I was going to say 15.
Hal Dobb was a big champion.
Hal Dobb pushed it in the 90s.
Yeah, I started with Hal, and he was always a great visionary. And there's millions of dollars being poured into this. And I hear a lot of negativity towards the streetcar. You guys, you're close to the situation. What is this really going to do for Omaha?
Well, I'll take the first stab, and it's interesting that you bring the negativity angle up because I noticed we had a streetcar-related post on the Grow Omaha Facebook page this week, and I was impressed with the level of negativity that we saw on some of that. But I look at the streetcar as very similar to the Quest Center. Back in 2000, I worked on the bond campaign committee to make the Quest Center possible, now CHI Health Center Omaha. And there was a lot of thought about, this will be a white elephant. We can't afford it. It'll fall back on the taxpayers. And it turned out great. And now you couldn't imagine Omaha without it.
20 years after it's been open.
And I think this is very similar because it's a major public investment that has a high likelihood of creating wealth. And when you look at the streetcar system in Kansas City, which I think is the best role model for ours, the amount of real estate development that has occurred within 3 blocks of that streetcar system has been absolutely tremendous. It's been so successful that are now more than doubling the length of the route. And what's nice about ours is that our initial route has better connectivity now than Kansas City's did when they built it. It connects the Med Center, Blackstone District, Midtown Crossing, downtown Old Market, Capitol District, and the beginning of North Downtown. So my prediction is you will see tremendous amounts of investment. That we already know that many of the real estate developers who have within the last year or two made commitments along the route have said the streetcar was a beneficial factor, kind of like a boost in their decision to build there. And I don't think you've seen anything yet. And then I love the financing method by using some of the portions of the TIF money for those future projects. You create a very high likelihood that the taxpayers won't really pay for any of it.
Jeff covered it well, and also it's free for the ridership.
Yeah.
And I think that's important. If you've gone to Washington, D.C. with your family and you go to all the major museums, they're free. And when you have amenities and you make it easy for people, they take care of things and they use them. The Riverfront Park, $400 million investment. And I said $300 million, Jeff. to Brinker Harding the other day, and he said, no, it's $400 million. I said, does that include the Kiewit Luminarium? He says, nope. He says they've spent $400 million. So not that we brag in Omaha about how much we spend, but when you look at the fruits of everybody's labor and donations and commitment, I think you can tell that it's worth it.
You know, Craig, I think, too, another issue that I hear, because, for instance, the three of us, we all live West Omaha, West area, or your Gretna in your case. Yep. And sometimes people say, well, I'm never going to go down and use it. I never go east of Interstate 680. And a lot of people think, what good does it do for me? And to those folks, I will always say a couple things. Number one, the stronger the core of the central city is, the better it is for everyone. Because like sometimes people will say, well, how does that help Papillion? We're all part of the same metropolitan area. And so the more activity we can have in the urban core that generates sales tax revenue, that pull in people who create a good economy and vibrancy, the more people you have living good lives, the less crime you will have in an urban core, and the healthier it makes the whole entire city. But guys, the thing I'm excited about when this thing gets going, I can't wait to see a lot of the 3 to 5 story urban buildings we are constructing in the urban core turn into like 6 to 10 to 12 story ones along the streetcar route, because that's what we're going to see happen.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of those planned as well.
Yeah. Well, guys, let's go ahead and take a break. We're going to, for the next segment, do one of our entrepreneur and business profiles. We have a young entrepreneur with us by the name of Joseph Saaid, and he is the owner of the appropriately named Joseph Saaid Photography. And we're going to talk to him about his company and why Omaha and what young professionals and entrepreneurs are experiencing right now in our town. So stay tuned for that. You don't want to miss it. Many other things to come after that. You're listening to Jeff Beals, Trenton Magid, and Craig Wolf on Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and D&M Roofing and Siding. Back in a moment on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
That was beautiful. So for the record,
nice softball.
Good job. Yeah. Good job.
Okay. For Joseph, we'll have you take Craig's spot.
For the record, this portion is recorded for YouTube. So.
Oh yeah, yeah. Don't say any 4-letter. Well, actually, we can say 4-letter words. Shit, we can cuss during this part of the show.
Okay, perfect. This changes everything.
Yeah, but don't say anything nasty gossip or anything like that.
Okay, I'll try not to.
There's been times we've never had to use our dump button right there, which is like a 12-second delay now, or 20.
That actually might be classified.
I think we're 20.
Wow. So we've never had to do that. We've had to cut a couple sections out, thanks to Roger last time.
No, I gotta cut that out. That's cruel uncut. They're not supposed to know that.
Sorry, Roger. What did I do? Some of the questions you asked, and some of more my responses than your questions. You're poking the Trenton.
Yeah, I did poke.
Don't poke the Trenton. Don't tap on the class.
Don't feed me after midnight.
For God's sakes, don't feed him.
Don't get me wet, Roger.
Are you a gremlin?
So that's when you'd press
Are
the
you a
button.
gremlin?
Right?
I'm a gremlin.
In that exact moment.
Delete.
You're welcome.
How long is this break, by the way?
Well, the break.
Yeah.
Couple more minutes.
Yeah. Can I get a water?
Half hour.
Oh yeah.
Is there one
Does he
around?
have room? Does he have time to run and get water?
I said the
Down at the
riverfront,
end
all
of the
that
fall.
stuff.
Yeah, you got time.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
It's-
All right,
there's
just to
cooler
make
right
sure,
there.
I'm all good.
And
I said
We'll stall a little bit.
I said I was talking to Brinker Harding yesterday, and I said the $300 million improvements to the riverfront park and all that, and he said no, it's $400 million. I said, well, are you including the?
Good to know you're
Are you
here.
including the luminarium? And Brinker said no. And I said
No,
okay.
neither.
And I said yeah. We
No.
brag about how much we spend.
Oh, you
and then I
called
said,
too.
but if you go down and you look at the park and you go look at everything
I was just
around
kidding.
there,
I'll look for you. Yeah.
the fruits of labor and donations
'Cause I
and,
love you.
and everything. It's good.
appreciate it.
She's, no, she's wrong.
You're like, wait, they got 15 minutes worse than.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah. It's just because I love you.
I love you too, Jeff.
Yeah. Actually, it was like, I hope Chris is coming.
you know how there's somebody that like runs their city, and we don't have any names, that sometimes listens or hears it from somebody else that we're saying something, that person called another person that we just mentioned his name, and he was saying that the other person said that we're spending $400 million on a streetcar. We didn't say that.
No, you didn't say
No, I
that.
think we said that on the parks.
We're talking about the parks and the, because I said that includes
We
the
don't want to do
luminary.
that anyway.
Yeah. He didn't say.
Every once in a while,
No.
every once in a while, that person calls Jeff or I. Usually, he calls me and yells, and then
That's happened.
it was something that Jeff said.
That happened one time. Yeah,
We're not going to name any names.
that happened one time. She only did that once, and
We don't know if it's a male or female.
she only did that once, and we kind of deserved it. Yeah.
You deserved it. I took the brunt of it.
I kind of.
By adjusting it where you said
As it turns out, you had plenty of time for the water.
That's great.
Here we go.
she, that pretty well told me who it was.
All right, Roger, work with us.
I'm glad you got that in.
Dream celebrity president in a fantasy world into Friday for a favorite Disney animated films. You can find the entire podcast on the Emery Sunder podcast page at kfav.com.
Thank you, Emery. Back to Grow Omaha. Jeff Beals, Trenton Magid, Craig Wolf at your service. Show's brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center, along with D&M Roofing and Siding. Periodically here on Grow Omaha, we like to highlight entrepreneurs and businesses. Today we have a young entrepreneur who will make you feel good about the future of our city. Joseph Saaid is with us. He is the owner of Joseph Saaid Photography and 2021 graduate of UNO. Joseph, good morning. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, Jeff.
Yeah, it's good to have you on the show. And, you know, as luck would have it, last night I went to FranNet of the Heartland's fundraiser. Last week we had Blake Martin from FranNet of the Heartland right here on the show. And there was a guy taking photos, and he comes over to me and says, "Hey, I'm going to be on your show tomorrow." And it was you, Joseph. You were busy down there taking pictures.
Yeah, I was happy to run into you. It was a great coincidence.
How was that event? Blake Martin's awesome.
Yeah, it was very nice. Like, I don't know, Joseph, had you been to it before? It's an annual thing, but I was impressed with how many people were there at the hot shops, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, this was my third year photographing it, and I'm not sure, don't quote me on this, but I think this might have been like a record attendance for the event.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your photography business.
Yeah, Jeff. So what I always tell people when they ask me about my business is I help people build credibility through powerful photography. So I work with businesses and I also work with individuals. So things like event photography, which I was doing last night, headshots, branding photos, essentially showing off people working within their business so they could better promote themselves online.
So, and how did you get involved in this line of work?
Oh, man. I started photography as a hobby when I was pretty young. My dad gave me my first camera when I was 10. So kind of just done it for fun for a long time. And then just as time went on, I realized, maybe I could make a career out of this.
Can you really tell when professional photographers, it's a big difference when they hire someone like you who knows what they're doing versus someone gets on their iPhone, except for Jeff, who doesn't have an iPhone. And
Samsung, probably not part of the cult.
No problem. Jeff. But it's a big difference. And what's your recommendation to people that want something done for their website or their social media?
Yeah, that's a good question. Everyone has smartphones, like we all know that. And so I think what makes
Except
me
Jeff.
different, what makes me different is, I know lighting. I know how to direct people, how to position people because I've been doing it for so long. So yes, anyone could take a pretty picture because we have good technology on our phones. But I think it's more about making the subject comfortable and knowing things like lighting and where to position people.
Joseph, you're a young professional. You've only been out of college for a couple of years. And so you're in a demographic group that's very important to Grow Omaha because we're very concerned about attracting people who are right out of college, keeping our college graduates here. Give us a little sense about maybe what you and your friends think about the Omaha business community as young professionals, in your case, entrepreneur, and give us a sense about how we're doing as a place that attracts and keeps people of your age group.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And I feel like it's something that kind of comes up a lot with the people that I talk to the young professional groups that I'm in, I would say, what's great about Omaha and the business community is that it's very relationship driven compared to, let's say, just other, major metropolis areas. So it's sort of less intimidating for someone who is, kind of just getting started. If you have a few connections, you could really kickstart, a good career, like how I was introduced to you through one of my UNO professors. I don't know if that would have happened in any other like major city because Omaha is so interconnected.
My feeling is that any age, any level of experience, that the size Omaha is, and not just through social media, but through one or two people, people that have been around for a long time, are pretty accessible. If you do them wrong or you waste their time, it might be a short meeting, but at the same time, do you get the sense that younger entrepreneurs and younger people that are starting in business can move faster in a city like Omaha?
I would say definitely. I mean, what I've noticed is everyone is so supportive. Like even just last night at the event, as I was taking photos, I had so many people come up to me and talk to me and, congratulate me on my business as I just went full-time not too long ago. And I just got the sense that, everyone truly does want to support you. And I think that's what makes Omaha unique.
We're talking with Joseph Saaid, owner of Joseph Saaid Photography. And another question as a young professional, Joseph, how would you rate Omaha's desirability to people in your age group and who do business like you do from an entertainment, kind of like a recreation, nightlife,
social scene?
Yeah, social scene. How are we doing there right now?
Yeah. I've lived in Omaha the majority of my life, so I can't necessarily compare it to other places, but I do know I enjoy what we have going on. And, you were talking about the development that's happening in the city. So, with the new music venue, the Steel House, things like that, I feel like that we have a lot going on for the size of city that we are. And I find it enjoyable.
I guess here's another way to put it. When Jeff and I were your age, which was a long time ago, we would get a group of friends together and go down to a Kansas City to go to things that we didn't have yet, which our tastes have changed. I don't know if Jeff's tastes have changed, but our tastes have changed. And things like Cheesecake Factory and what are some of the other things that we'd never had in Omaha that you go to Kansas City for shopping like twice a year or something like that? Do you and your friends take road trips, or do you feel that you have most of the things here?
I would say most of the things are here, with exception of like maybe like an IKEA. That's something that I would go to Kansas City down for if I want to go into a physical store. But other than that, I feel like everything is kind of nice and condensed here in Omaha. Yeah.
So you had mentioned some of the photography work. Do you also do any like portraits, like senior pictures or weddings or anything like that, or is it mostly just business?
I would say most of it is business. As far as like stuff like weddings and senior photos, I kind of offer those more on a limited basis. So if someone reaches out to me, I try to kind of keep it to people that are closer in my circle, that I'm going to do that for.
Okay. So if one of our listeners wants to get a hold of you, needs some photography work, what's the best way to do that?
Yeah, they could head to my website, josephsaaid.com. Saaid is spelled SAAID.com. And you could contact me through my contact page there and view all my work. So that'd be a good place.
Fantastic. Well, Joseph, appreciate you joining us. Glad that you are doing this business in Omaha, and we wish you nothing but the best of success.
Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate it.
It was our pleasure. Joseph Saaid of Joseph Saaid Photography. We're going to take our middle of the show break for the news, and then when we come back, Trenton and Craig and I are going to be talking about Omaha being one of the 20 best mid-sized cities. And we'll have a few other things on the discussion docket as well. You're listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and D&M Roofing and Siding on News Radio 1110 KFAB. Well done.
Yeah, appreciate
thanks
it.
much.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's good stuff. All right, we'll have you guys do the switcheroo again.
Sounds good.
It's like musical chairs without the music.
Yeah, I mean, it's just my first time. I don't know what to expect. So.
Isn't it amazing how
fast it goes.
It's right. You have to be concise. And,
Yeah. Everyone always, sometimes will say, we'll have you on for 6 to 8 minutes. People are like, oh my God, how will no, it'll go by like that.
Yeah. You guys do a good job moving things forward.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thanks.
It's all Jeff.
It's all Jeff. Except for the organizer. The organizer of the newsletter here.
You know, this is like Sarah Palin saying that she can see Russia from her house. She never said that, despite what you think of Sarah Palin. She never said that, and now Jeff is taking the words of Channel 7, saying that I'm the organizer of this. And I corrected people.
He's the community organizer of the newsletter.
Yes.
Oh, man. So, Craig, did you see that that thing about the CNN thing on the newsletter? I figured we'd just talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. I thought interesting statistic was the Creighton. 80% of students come from outside the state.
We should mention that.
I think that's incredible. And then 50% of them stay. What a great
50% of Creighton students?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in the newsletter that you organized.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's a really interesting.
It was in the newsletter that he organized that he didn't read.
It's hurtful.
Yes, it is kind of hurtful.
Sounds good.
What are you going to say?
Well, I never.
Yeah, no, thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, I never read that thing.
But I promote the hell out of it.
I know you do. And you give us very good intel, which we appreciate. A lot of the intel comes through you.
This is my friend Craig. I'll hug him and squeeze him and take him to the park.
But not the soft play park at the mall.
And I won't let him play with the rabbits.
Thanks, Craig. Appreciate that. This is my class president, 1987.
West Side
I
High.
even voted for you.
Did you?
Yeah, of course I voted
I
for
can't
you.
remember if I even voted.
You didn't.
I may have abstained.
You voted for Tyler Schropp. I know.
I would have never voted for Tyler. I would have
Junior
never.
year, I lost by 2 votes, and I think it was Danny Marquardt. We're walking out of the school, and he's like, "Yeah, sorry, I voted for Tyler."
You're like, there's the difference.
Yeah. And we lived across the street from each other, so when they come to give you the flower or whatever they do, like the
But the next year, you got it.
yeah.
You campaign hard.
Only 2 vote difference. Should you have?
No, it was like 2 votes or something.
Demand a recount?
Yeah, you'd think. Yeah,
Recount.
I've still contested it.
I'm surprised there weren't like some lawsuits.
There were hanging chads before there were hanging chads and all.
I'm surprised the MAGA campaign didn't file some frivolous lawsuits.
Remember they did like the Valentine's Day where the computer program hooked you up with different people. They had questionnaires.
Oh, I think so.
And
I think there were some girls that were horrified when they got Jeff Fields. Oh my God! I got a transfer.
Yeah, but I bet
Isn't he in drama?
You look back at that going, that computer was probably right.
That's true. It turned out to be a decent guy.
Yeah.
Not the most handsome fellow, but a decent guy.
Oh, hey, don't cut yourself
That was
short.
back in the time.
You're a tremendous slouch. Don't cut yourself. Don't sell yourself short, Judge. You're a tremendous slouch.
The good old days when they didn't have caller ID.
Thank God.
But they had the, what was it, the group phones or wherever you could get on the chat.
Party lines?
Teen lines.
Yeah.
Teen lines.
Teen lines, yeah.
We would call Godfather's Pizza in Rockport 3920900 and Valentino's over at Canfield Plaza. But
Oh, of course.
and we call them at the same time. Be like, Godfather's Pizza in Rockport, can I help you? Valentino's. And they'd be like, hello, did you order pizza? No, this is and you just sit there.
Should have recorded that.
No,
And then-
sell pizza.
And then on Gab Teen, where there's like 6 people, random people that are on there.
That's what I remember.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Gab
Then we
Teen.
would come call.
I remember that.
We call us like some like national hotline or something. I won't say which ones it is, and patch them in too.
Gab Teen. I forgot about Gab Teen.
The best was always the one that we'd call up and this is Bob Hergenblaster from Omaha Public Power District or Northwestern Bell or whatever, and say we've got people on the power lines outside your house, and if you could just for the next 5 minutes do not answer the phone, because if you answer the phone it could connect to circuit and some of our linemen could be severely injured. And like, so he goes through this whole thing, and then like you wait like 2 or 3 minutes, and you call up and you let it ring because back then you didn't have like answer machines.
There was no voicemail.
So it was like 30 times. Finally, they answered the phone. It was like, my leg, and then 5 minutes later, you're calling back and laugh at it.
Oh man, the glory days.
Yeah.
Technology's ruined all of this.
We actually did that.
The statute of limitations is run out for this, right?
Have you not seen people have been doing that same thing with the smartphones where they'll call like one takeout Chinese place with another and they'll just get confused.
Merged call. Yeah.
It's so funny.
Oh. Did you call for Chinese food? No, we sell Chinese food.
Or you call up, is Joe there? And you get like 10 people to call the same person over the course of a day. And they're like, Joe doesn't live here. I don't know why I'm getting all these calls. And then at the end of the day, you're like,
sons of bitches.
Hey, this is Joe. Did I get any messages? What a good old day.
Oh, gosh.
It's like, my leg.
That's so good.
It just rings 30 times.
They can't take it.
The guy's like,
Yeah.
we took that whole Prince Albert in a can, and
I got it.
is your refrigerator running? But nowadays, you can probably do the same thing because everybody has to answer their phone, like, and you can make, you can get an app that you can put anybody's, you can ruin relationships by putting somebody's old girlfriend on there. Oh, gosh. Not that I would do that.
Right. You're way too classy for that.
Yeah.
Way too.
It's all in fun, not fun for all.
20.
I say, could these commercial breaks be any longer?
No, that's so long.
They take up some time.
So,
What's that?
It's like 6 to 8 minutes.
next week on the
It's about 7.
Next week on the mid-show break, I'm going to see how many jokes I can tell within that break.
It feels like it.
Is it 7 minutes?
Yeah.
Are you
At least.
Sorry.
Well, there's a news.
And the weather.
I wonder how much of our show drops
There we
off
go.
after this.
It's a good question.
Not just because Craig's still on, but
You'd be surprised.
Try and spruce it up for ratings' sake.
people out are even.
And welcome back to the show, Jeff Beals and Trenton Magid. And we are joined today by Craig Wolf, who is a local entrepreneur. And among his businesses is Cheer Athletics, one of our Grow Omaha sponsors. Craig joins us from time to time to talk about some of the news items that are happening in the Grow Omaha world. Show is brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center for metro area locations and D&M Roofing, which takes care of both your residential and commercial roofs. And it is time for our commercial real estate development spotlight of the week, which is brought to you by Noddle Companies. Jay Noddle and his team over at Noddle Companies just do an amazing job with so many different projects. A lot of the headquarters buildings that have opened in Omaha in recent years are tied to Noddle Companies, like the Valmont headquarters, the new HDR headquarters, and so many others. And then Noddle Companies is also famous for places like Exarban Village, places like the Builders District in North Downtown. In fact, it is Exarban Village, guys, where we're going to be talking today. Who here likes to eat delicious food?
Me.
I'm in.
All right. They're both raising their hands. And we've got 2 restaurants at Exarban Village that have opened. The first one is Yushu, which is authentic Thai food. It has opened at the Interrail Food Hall. And then in the former Greenbelly space, ground floor of the HDR headquarters building, RUB, which stands for Rotisserie Urban Bistro, has opened. So it's kind of like a sophisticated twist on rotisserie chicken. And I know a lot of people are excited about that. Then also in that same building, that HDR building ground floor, A Priori has opened. That is a men's clothing store. So, I don't know, Craig, do you guys ever go spend the evening at Exarban Village? Go hit a restaurant or two, or maybe a movie or anything like that?
With being in the youth sports area, a lot of that activity obviously happens in the evening. So that's where our family is tied down to. My children, I'll give a shout out to Ava, Alana, and Barrett. They'll love that.
The Wolf Kids.
The Wolf Pack, as we call them.
Pack, absolutely.
They're in sports. So it's hard for us to get down to that area. When I do, I think people coming from west, whether it's going down to Exarban or going downtown, parking's always a big issue, right? And so how is the parking down there in Exarban?
Exarban's awesome. So we go down there quite a bit, not just for the Interrail food hall, but the other restaurants. And the park is unbelievable. They got live music a lot on the weekends, cornhole going on, and people. You see people shopping and just hanging out with their families. There's a lot of free things to do down there as well.
And the parking's free.
And, the parking is plentiful, and they also have location finders outside each of the parking garages and that stuff. And so that's good.
I'm going to have to get down there.
Yeah, it's we sometimes do like a Friday evening there. I know Stephanie and I really like Saffron, the Urban Indian Kitchen. We go there quite a bit, and some of the other restaurants too. Herb Sant, there are a lot of good ones.
Herb Sant's awesome.
Guys, here's some cool news. CNN has named Omaha as one of the 20 best mid-sized cities in the United States that are worthy of your attention and fun to visit. And regarding Omaha, CNN said the new Riverfront Omaha is a big draw, combining 3 public parks into one with amenities like a sculpture garden, interactive water features, and a dog park. In Omaha, you'll find world-class works of art, including Monet's and Renoir's at Joslin Art Museum. This mid-sized city is also home to the Henry Dorley Zoo, which consistently ranks among the top zoos in the world. I'd say we deserve it.
Absolutely.
I think if you're a young person here in Omaha, you have to be really excited about an adult, but as you're growing up, there's from the days back when you and I grew up to now, there's the expansion, the opportunity for people in this town is super cool, and I think it's exciting for these young people on what's happening right now, because it's going to really play into their world as they get older.
And when Craig says when we were growing up, by the way, for the record, he and I have known each other since kindergarten.
That's correct.
It's been a while.
84th and Center.
That's right.
So when it comes to Omaha and attracting workforce, at the real estate conference I was at yesterday, one of the panelists said he was talking to a job placement professional recruiter, and she's like, "Oh, Omaha, it's really hard for me to get people to go there, but I can't get anybody out of there."
I could see that. Yeah, once
I get them there, they don't want to leave.
Yeah, that's good. Well, we just have to keep working, and eventually they'll want to come here on the front end as well.
Well, and I think along that stat, if you read the Grow Omaha newsletter, and if you're not on it, you should be on it.
I'm thinking about reading it.
Amen.
It's a great newsletter. I was fascinated by the statistic that 80% of the students at Creighton come from outside of Omaha, but 50% of them stay. And so talking about keeping people here, once they get here, they realize Omaha there's a lot going on, a lot of great people. As Joseph said earlier, the relationships in this town are pretty special. And so it's a town built on relationships, no doubt about it.
And Creighton is a brain gain, brain gain.
No question about it. And think about UNO, how they've expanded over the years, and people come from outside to come to UNO too, and they stay.
All right, it's time for our final break of the hour, and when we come back, it'll be the Turner Construction Lightning Round, and I'm looking at the list. I see a lot of things on it, so you don't want to miss any of it. You're listening to Jeff Beals, Trenton Maggot, and Craig Wolf on Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and D&M Roofing and Siding on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
It was Joseph, right? Yeah. He made reference to you.
Plugged you.
Like, I hope I said his name right.
I got a text, and I was like, it was kind of a panic text, so I had to make sure we're good. What was the reference I missed?
Is your camera moving by itself?
What's that?
Did I just see your camera move by itself?
No, you saw the cord from the headphones I was sitting down. Pull it.
Oh.
I was like, that's a pretty good camera.
Yeah, it's like...
You got that on
A rig that I can...
automatic pilot?
I can set that up.
I'm sorry, Jeff, for making fun of you about your phone.
No apology necessary. I hate iPhones.
You don't hate iPhones. You hate people bugging you about hating iPhones.
No, in all honesty, I wouldn't have a problem with getting an iPhone, but my kids have given me shit for so long about not having one that I kind of play it up.
Now it's
and
traditional.
say I'll never get one, and I'm not part of the.
Oh, yeah.
Although you got to admit though, Apple is kind of a cult. Like you walk by the Apple store, and I do get kind of like my skin kind of crawls a little bit with all the people in there that are just.
But it's just like Google
I don't
or
like
something.
going in there myself.
It's like it's like a religion or something.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Wendy's new breakfast 2 for $3 Mickey bundles.
But that said, like if I had to have an iPhone, I'd be fine.
But you're kind of like the wind, that story of the wind trying to get the guy to take his jacket off, keeps blowing harder, and it keeps becoming like
That's me.
well, your kids just need a little sunshine. Get your teeth.
Oh yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Let's just say that if iPhones were like the best tasting food in the world and healthy and everything else, Jeff wouldn't have one.
Nope. Can't have one.
We make fun of his palate all the time. Yeah.
Oh, we had a good
10
palate on
seconds.
Wednesday for lunch.
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
Man,
Laszlo's.
those onion rings at Laszlo's. I keep thinking about them, Jeff. I gotta get back and have
See,
them.
but
We doubt Laszlo's.
Trent and Amy would say, they're not very good.
Well, I thought they were delicious.
I sent him a text saying we're going to watch.
And welcome back to the show. Jeff Beals, Trent, and Magid are with you. We are joined by Craig Wolf from Cheer Athletics. And it is time for the Turner Construction Lightning Round. Thank you, Turner Construction, for making this possible. Turner Construction is building up Omaha. Let me tell you, they've got big projects like hundreds of millions of dollars of investment at Offutt Air Force Base and hundreds of millions of dollars at the Sarpy County Data Center. But that's not all they do, even though they're capable of it. They're a locally focused contractor. They've got Omaha-based people who grew up in Omaha, from Omaha, love living in Omaha, that are doing projects here, and they can help your business too, whether you need to construct a new building or if you just need to build out space in an office or a retail center. Turner Construction does all of that. And one of the things, before we get into the material here, that I'm always very proud of Turner is just how much their people love working there and how committed they are to the community. All right, Turner Construction Lightning Round, here we go. A few things on the docket. The owner of Javi's Tacos, named Javi, is opening a new concept called Helados Locos, which means crazy ice cream in Spanish. It's going to be in a former Weight Watchers space near 173rd and West Center Road. Yes, I see the irony of that location. Can't wait to give this a
It's like
try.
putting something back on the tax rolls, like something that a church sells it and all of a sudden it's going to for-profit, so they have to pay taxes now.
Guys, I don't speak French, but Les Macarons, I don't know how you say it. Les Macarons French Pastries will open its first Nebraska or Iowa location early next year at 1917 South 67th Street in Exarban Village. This Florida-based chain has 60 locations in 23 states.
Macaroons are awesome. by the way.
Yeah.
Those, yeah.
Pictures look great. Brown's Shoe Fit Company has opened a new store at 7624 Dodge Street. They have been around since 1913 and are out of Shenandoah, Iowa. A lot of people were very upset this week to find out that Nettie's Fine Mexican Food is not coming back.
Me included.
I know it was a good place. It was a very popular place, and they tried and you know they had like I think they had some Facebook fundraisers, and there was all
I think
this
that's
talk.
for the employees.
But it's just apparently not going to work out. It burned down last year on Christmas Eve.
Railroad Avenue, right?
Total loss. Yeah, 7110 Railroad Avenue. So that's a shame. That's too
The
bad.
good news is there's about 45 other Mexican restaurants that have opened in the last 2 years.
We do have a lot of restaurants, Mexican restaurants
like
that have opened
margaritas.
lately.
Muy bien.
Circo Omaha, guys, we got to give this a try. Circo Omaha has opened at 192nd and Q in a former Julio's. This is chef-driven contemporary cuisine. Just opened Wednesday, I believe. So we got to get over there and give that a try. Looks really good. I checked out the
Italian,
menu.
or?
It says contemporary American, but the menu has a little bit of an Italian feel to me. And Circo kind of makes you think Italian, perhaps. But we'll see. This is an interesting business. Ellie Mental Health has opened. It's a counseling center, but it's a chain. It's a franchised chain out of Minnesota. So Ellie Mental Health has opened at 3803 North 153rd Street. Let's see, what else do we have here? Power Life Yoga. That's good for you, Trenton.
Yeah.
That has opened a store at Village Point Shopping Center. Oh, it's almost open. It's not quite open yet. Almost open. So it's getting there. And then finally, Chirpy's Play Cafe. Chirpy, Chirpy, Chirpy's Play Cafe, is holding a ribbon cutting ceremony this coming Tuesday in Papillion. This business is a coffee shop for the parents and an indoor play space for the children.
Interesting.
So
That's unique.
yeah, I like that. You can go have your coffee and hope the kids don't get hurt playing with other
There's
kids.
probably a sign. If you leave, please take your kids with you.
Do not leave your children. Well, maybe they have an option. Maybe there's like an upsell for that. We don't know.
And congratulations to the Simon family of Omaha Steaks. Big announcement over there.
Yeah, Todd Simon, who had been the CEO, is going to stay in the chairman role, but they have another CEO taking his spot.
First time outside of the family, 5th generation, and McCarthy Capital has invested in the company, and I grew up around the Simon family, and they do a ton for Omaha, philanthropically and job-wise, and Omaha Steaks is definitely not only an Omaha original, but it's an amazing story, and so thanks for them and congratulations bringing on a partner, and we wish them another 5 generations.
Oh, one other thing I wanted to mention too: Alaska Airlines this week celebrated 10 years of service at Omaha Epley. 10 years goes by rather quick.
Yeah.
So, Craig, Cheer Athletics, you once again, you've got an event tomorrow. The music's playing, so just
3.
what are the times?
1 to 3, Highway 50, 370. Go to cheerathletics.com/Omaha. Check us out. Come on out for the big show tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. And hey, I want to say Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there.
Yeah, thank you, Craig.
And to you too, Craig. You're a veteran. All right, that's it for this week. I'm Jeff Beals.
And I'm Trenton Magid.
You've been listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center, D&M Roofing and Siding, and Turner Construction on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
Bam.
If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.